Good afternoon, sir. Our topic for today is all about Aristotle virtue ethics. And before that, we will introduce first. My name is Tapan Manida.
So I'm Joshua Sildo. I'm going to discuss the introduction of virtue or character ethics. The following excerpts clarify what virtue ethic is. An ethical act is a virtuous person's action in the same circumstances. Virtue ethics is a person-based rather than action-based. So, ang virtue is nagdepends of to the person kung unsa imong pakita sa kadaghanan. Then ang character ethics, it is based on your action. Then it looks like the virtue or moral character of the person acting rather than the ethical duties and rules or the consequences of the particular actions. Virtue ethics deals not only with the rightness or the wrongness individual actions. It provides guidance on the characteristics and behaviors a good person will seek to achieve. Virtue ethics uses the following of the frameworks ethical decision making. This is how it is done.
In the virtue framework, we try to identify the character traits, either positive or negative, that might motivate us in the given situation. Similarly, virtue ethics is the ethics of behavior, which focuses on the character of the persons involved in the decision or action. And the person in question has good character, genuine motivation, and intention, he or she behaves ethically. Virtue ethics is an ethics whose goal is to determine what is essential to being a well functioning or flourishing human. Virtue ethics stresses an ideal for humans or persons as an ethics of ideals of excellence. It is an optimistic and positive type of ethics. Basic types of virtue, excellence. Aristotle gives two types of virtue. First is intellectual virtue, second is moral virtue. Intellectual virtue refers to excellence of the mind, include the ability to understand, reason, and judge well. Moral virtue. Moral virtues help a person to act well. It refers to a person's disposition to act well. In Aristotle's view, when a person acts in accordance with his nature and realizes his full potential, he will do good and be content. At birth, a baby is not a person but a potential person. To become a real person, the child's inherent potential must be realized. Unhappiness and frustration are caused by the unrealized potential of a person, leading to failed goals and a poor life. Aristotle said, nature does nothing in vain. So, for me, Aristotle believed that nature operates with purpose and efficiency, avoiding any unnecessary actions. It is an interesting perspective on the order and intentionality and the natural world.
For Aristotle, virtue is the golden mean between two extremes. The virtue of courage is a mean between two extremes of deficiency and extreme, namely cowardice and foolhardiness. Too little courage is cowardice and too much courage is foolhardiness. Kani sa cowardice, lack courage atong kagaringon. Pag-abot ato sa isa pod sa foolhardiness, sobra ra pod atong courage ane nya natay virtue of ethics in other traditions. Si Confucius nang-emphasize siya og two virtues, si Jin ug si Lai. Jin, which means humanist, na siya sa human-heartedness and comparison. Si Lai means property, nagkamo siya og manners or culture. Mo ni sa confusion sa virtue sa ethics. Nya, pag-abot ni Hinduism, na-emphasize mo siya og five basic moral virtues, si non-violence and freedom from greed. It also emphasize si Hinduism po ni-emphasize po siya og mental virtues, makakontag calmness, makakontag self-control, self-settledness, forbearance, natay faith, din sa Hinduism.
Buddhism also has intellectual and moral virtues. From the Eightfold Path are the intellectual virtues proper understanding and right mindfulness, and the moral virtues of right speech, right action, and right livelihood. Jesus Christ preached the virtues of love, mercy, and compassion, hunger for justice, patience, kindness, gentleness, and self-control. Saint Thomas Aquinas taught the theological virtues of faith, hope, and love. Christian tradition teaches four cardinal moral virtues: prudence, justice, temperance, and fortitude. So, this means we Christians have the have the belief of God. Good deeds, malangit juta. Saint Thomas, an eclectic philosopher, integrated into his own philosophy anything good conceived by his predecessors like Aristotle, but he enriched their thoughts with his insights of learning. The attainment of the highest good, happiness, includes its diffusion. Bonum diffusivum is. So it means bonum diffusivum is to spread goodness. One more point regarding various potentials of man, which, when actualized, becomes virtues, is Hans Georg Gadamer's reinterpretation of Aristotle definition of man as a homologous as speaking of animals. So, homologous is the agreeing and as speaking of animal, it means the importance of language itself. So, mo-agree ka on others of what they are or what they should think. That's all.